Hello students, welcome in our class 10 ncert SSC Math with Sujatag. Welcome students in this new session, that is the solving board question paper from 2020 to 2025. Now here the time is for solving the question 3A and B. Now what type of the questions here come, that we have to see here. Okay, so now here the question 3A is the complete the following activity and rewrite it. Okay, it is the activity based questions, and here the any one you have to solve any one activity. Okay, and each activity having the 3 marks students. Each activity having the 3 marks. There are 2 activities given, but you have to solve the one activity and give the 3 marks each. Now here, what about the question 3B? Here, that solve the following question. And here are the 3 questions. Here are total 3 questions, but we have to solve any 2 questions. And here also the sum weightage is there. That weightage is that the each question having the 3 mark. So student, let us start to solve the question 3 board question paper. Okay, and in this is the March 2024 exam board paper. Okay, so now here the question 3, see here, the following frequency distribution table shows the classification of the number of vehicles and the volume of petrol filled in them. To find the mode of the volume of the petrol filled, complete the following activity. Now here students, the frequency table is given here. Okay, and we have to fill up these boxes. Okay, we have to complete this activity by filling these boxes. Now here students, that this is the frequency table given that the class here in the first column, and here are the frequency that the classes for the petrol filled in liters, that is 0.5 to 3.5 liter, 3.5 liter to 6.5 liter, and the frequency, the related corresponding frequency will be the number of vehicles fill the fuel. Okay, such a type. So now here, these are the given information. Now here activity. In the activity, they give us from the given table modal class. Yes. So now here, that how can we find the modal class students? That modal class means the mode. You have to find out the mode from the frequency. Which one is the mode students? That is the highest. That will be the highest frequency, and that is the 40 students. That is the 40. So here we assume that the modal class. Now here the modal class will be 3.5 to 6.5 students. Okay. So here I write 3.5 to 6.5. Okay. Then here students, the mode, that here it is the formula. So here we write the formula student. So mode is equal to L plus capital L plus F1 minus F2 F0 divided by 2 F1 minus F0 minus here is the F2 multiply H. Now here students, that is mode is equal to, that is the substitution students, that 3.5 that is the lower limit of this class. Okay, so the lower limit of this class is 3.5. So here we substitute 3.5. Now the F1. What is the F1 students? That F1 is the frequency, that is the related frequency, that is F1. We consider F1, and the F0 is the previous one frequency of the modal frequency, and the F2, that F2 is the afterward, the modal frequency, and that will be the 27. And the H means the distance between them, the distance between the class here, upper limit and the lower limit. That means 6.5 minus 3.5, and that is equal to 3. So I write here in this box the 3. Now mode is equal to 3.5 plus now 7 upon 80 minus 60 multiply 3. Now more is equal to, we have to directly write down the answer. So first we calculate this calculation. Okay. So now here we do this calculation, that is here. So here students see that 3.5 plus here 7 upon 80 minus 60, that is equal to 20, and here multiply 3. So that means 3.5 plus here 21 upon 20, and that means 3.5 plus, now here students, that is the 1 point. So here you may do the division, that is the 20 divided by 21. Then that means here students 21s are 20, then here 1 come, then take the point, then here 0 as well as 0 here 0, then 25s are 100. Okay students, so that means here 1.05. This answer is 1.05. So now here adding 3.5 to 1.05, the answer will be that 4.55. Okay student, so now here that our answer is that 4.55. Okay, mole is equal to 455. That is the mole of the volume of petrol is 4.55. Is equal to 4.55. Activity students, the total value with GST of remote control toy car is rupees 2360. Rate of GST is 18% on toys, and complete the following activity to find the taxable value for the toy car. Okay, so now here this is the given activity. Okay, so now here see activity, total value for toy car with GST is equal to rupees 2360. That is the given. Also that rate of GST is equal to 18%, and let taxable value for toy car be X. Now GST will be the 18 upon 100 multiply X. Now here students, the next step is for the formula. That is, if you have to find out total value for toy car, then it will be taxable value for toy car plus here the GST students. Okay, in this column we write the GST. Okay, then here 2360 is equal to students. Now here students, the taxable value. What is the taxable value? We consider that the taxable value, that is the X. So here students we write X. Now here the plus divided by 100 multiply X, that will be the GST. The formula for the GST. Now here the percentage GST multiply the taxable value. So now here the GST, rate of GST, that is 18%. So here we write the 18. Okay. Then here student 2360 is equal to, now do the calculation of these students. Okay. What is the calculation of these student? That here we can see that X plus 18X upon 100. So that means here cross multiply 100X plus 18X upon 100. So that means 118X upon 100. So here we can write here 118, already X is given, and divided by 100. Okay students, this way. Now the cross multiply, that is we have to solve this equation, that is 2360 multiplied by 100 is equal to 118X. Okay students, and then here X is equal to 2360 multiply 100, and then 2360 multiply 100 divided by here 118. Okay student, here. Now taxable value for toy car is, so here we have to write the final answer. How can we? First here we calculate this. Okay. So now here 2360 multiply 100 divided by students 118. So now here 118 twos are students. That is the 236. So here 1, here 2 and the 0. That means here students, that is the 20 multiply 100, and that means here students 2000. Okay, 2000. So here our final answer is rupees 2000. Okay, here. That's okay. Very easy, students. Okay. So now see the next question. Yes. Solve the, now it is for the question 3B, students, and it is the each of 3 marks question, and we have to solve any 2. So now see, solve the following quadratic equation by formula method. Okay. So now here, students, this is a 3m square. Okay. Here 3m square. That here the 3m square minus m minus 10 is equal to 0. Now this is solving. They mentioned that you have to solve this quadratic equation with the help of formula method. That means you must have to solve this formula method. Do not use the other method, you students, for the solving purpose. Okay. So now here for the formula method. So now here we know that the formula for the quadratic equation, that is the, here is the variable is m. So here, students, we write the formula m is equal to minus b plus or minus in the square root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Okay. So now here, for that purpose, to substitute the values in the formula, we want the a, b as well as c. Okay. So first we have to find out the value of ABC. So here, value of ABC get from the quadratic equation. So here, first we write the given. That given is that 3m square minus n minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay. Call it as the first equation. Okay. Now compare this equation. Compare this equation with am square plus bm plus c is equal to 0. Now here, student, there is a m variable in the given quadratic equation, so I write the general form in the m form. Okay, so am square plus bm plus c. So therefore a is equal to 1. See here, at the place of a, here is a 3. So a is equal to 3. Then at the place of b, there is minus 1. So b is equal to minus 1. And at the place of c, here it is a minus 10. So c is equal to minus 10. Okay. Now here we have the values a, b, c, 3 values there. So m is equal to, now here substitution, minus of minus 1. Okay. Plus or minus in the square root, here minus 1 whole bracket square minus 4, then 3 multiplied by 2, 3. Sorry, here c, that is the c, that is minus 10. Okay, students, and then 2 multiplied by here 3. Now here minus of minus plus 1. So here 1. Plus or minus. So now here, students, that is the square of minus 1. Square of minus 1 is 1 here, students, and then minus. Now here the answer of this product. Okay, product of these 3 numbers, that will be 4 3s are 12, 12 10s are 120, and the minus sign. So minus 120. Okay, students, and then here 2 multiply 3. Here, students, that is equal to 1 plus or minus in the square root 1 plus 120 divided by 6. So now here 1 plus or minus here in the square root 121 divided by 6. So now here, students, the 121, that is the square of the element. So I write here 11. So divided by 6. So now here by bifurcation apply here, that is the m is equal to 1 plus 11 upon 6, or students, m is equal to 1 minus 11 upon 6. So that means here, students, we can write m1 here m2. So m1 is equal to 12 upon 6, that means m1 is equal to 2. Okay, students, that is a 6 1s are and 6 2s are 12. And here, students, at this place, that is a m2 is equal to minus 10 upon 6, and that means, students, m2 is equal to 2 5s are 10, 2 3s are 6. So these are the 2 solutions of the given quadratic equation 3m square minus m minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay, students? Next one example, students. Solve the following simultaneous equations using Cramer's rule. 3x minus 4y is equal to 10. 4x plus 3y is equal to 5. So now here, students, first we write the give the number of equations. So here 3x minus 4y. I write here 3x minus 4y is equal to 10 and call it as 1. Then here, students, the second one 4x plus 3y is equal to 5 and call it as the second one. Okay, students, and as per the Cramer's rule, how can we find out the determinant? That determinant, we have to find out the determinant as the coefficient of x, that is the 3, 4. Coefficient of y, that is here in this place. Okay, so now here, students, that cross multiply 3 multiply 3 minus of here, students, 4 multiply minus 4. So that means, students, 9 minus of minus 16. So that means, students, that is 9 plus 16. So here 25. So D is equal to 25, students. And then here the next one is that to finding out D of x. How can we find out D of x? That is, you hide the coefficient of x and replace it by the constant, that is the 10 and 5, and write the y coordinate as it is, that is minus 4 and 3. So the cross multiply it, that is 10 multiply 3 minus of 5 multiply minus 4. So that means, students, here 30 minus of minus 20 divided by 30 plus 20. So here, students, that is the 50. So D of x is equal to 50. D of x is equal to 50. Now calculate the D of y. D of y. To calculate the D of y, we have to hide the coordinate, y coordinate. Okay? Sorry, coefficient of y, students. Then here 3, 4 and here we place the 10, 5 as a constant. So now here, students, cross multiply 3 multiply 5 minus 4 multiply 10 is equal to 15 minus 40. So now here that is minus 25. So D of y is equal to minus 25. Okay. Now here next one, that is, here now we say that by applying Cramer's rule. By using or applying Cramer's rule. Okay. Cramer's rule. So what is the Cramer's rule? That Cramer's rule is x is equal to D of x upon D. Okay. And y is equal to D of y upon D. So this is the formula for the Cramer's rule. And so here, students, that the substitution x is equal to 20. That is the D of x at 50. 50 upon 25. 50 upon 25. That means, students, x is equal to 2. And here, students, substitution y is equal to minus 25 upon 25. So here I write minus 25 upon 25. So y is equal to minus 1. Okay, student? So here we write, therefore, solution is xy, which is equal to 2 minus 1. Okay, students? For example, students, 50 shares of face value rupees 10 were purchased for market value of rupees 25. Company declared 30% dividend on the shares, then find first sum invested, second dividend received, and third one, that is the rate of return. So now here, students, first we write the given values here. Okay. Now first that write down the given, and here is that 50 shares. So that means here number of shares. Okay. So number of shares is equal to 50. Then here the face value rupees 10. So face value is equal to rupees 10. Then here, students, that the market value of rupees 25. So here I write market value. Market value is equal to rupees 25. Okay, students? And then here the dividend, 30% dividend. That means, students, here it is a rate of dividend. So I write here rate of dividend. Rate of dividend. okay, which is equal to 30%. Okay, and then we have to find out the sum. That is the sum invested. Here I write sum invested is equal to question mark. Then the second one, dividend received. Here dividend received is equal to question mark. And the third one, students, that is the rate of return. Rate of return, okay, is equal to question mark. So now here, students, one by one we calculate it. First one, that is the rate of sum invested. First one is the sum invested, okay, sum invested. Sum invested is dependent on the market value, so the number of, the formula is that number of shares multiply the market value, okay, market value. So here, students, that number of shares are 50 and the market value, students, here market value is 25, okay, here. So now here 25 5s are 125 and 0, that means rupees 1250, okay, sum invested. Sum invested is equal to rupees 1250 rupees. Now the second one, students, that we have to calculate the dividend received, okay. So now here, that dividend received, how can we find out the dividend received? First we calculate the dividend received per share, okay, dividend received per share. So here I write dividend received per share. Per share means only one share, huh? Students, only one share. And that is equal to, students, that the 30% multiply, that is, we write here rate of dividend, multiply, students, face value. Here I write face value, okay, this way. So now here, students, rate of dividend, that is a 30%, here 30%, and the face value is 10, students. So now 30%, that is the 30 upon 100, and here multiply 10. So now here 30 multiply 10 divided by 100. So here 0 get cancelled, and here also rupees 3. Okay, rupees 3. So here dividend received per share. Okay, this is the dividend received per share. Now the dividend received 50 shares. Okay, now dividend received for 50 shares. Okay, and that the formula is that, students, the number of shares multiply, students, this dividend received per share. Okay, so here number of shares multiply dividend. Okay, I write here dividend. So that means, students, number of shares 50 and that is the dividend, that is the 3. So here 150. So that means rupees 150. Okay, so this is the dividend received, that is second one, dividend received. Dividend received is equal to rupees 150. Okay, students, then next one, that is the third one, that we have to calculate the rate of return. Okay, students, the rate of return. So how can we find out the rate of return? That is the rate of return. Okay, rate of return. So here the formula is that students, that dividend that dividend received, this one, and the sum invested. Okay, dividend divided by sum invested multiply 100, because we have to want the rate of return. So multiply 100. So now dividend is 150, multiply 100 and divided by sum invested. Now here sum invested, this one 1250. So now here 0 get cancelled. So here 5 3s are 15, 5 2s are 10, 5 5s are 25. So now here 25 ones are 25 and 25 fours are 100. So here students 3 into 4, and that means students are 12%. That is the rate of return. Rate of return. Rate of return is equal to 12%. Okay, student. So one by one we calculate all these quantities, that is the sum invested, dividend received, rate of return. Okay. Now see the next one example, students. Okay. Next one example is, student, for one coin and a die are thrown simultaneously. Find the probability of the following events. Event A, to get a head and prime number. Event B, to get a tail and odd number. Okay, students. Then here see, first we write throwing a coin and a die. Okay, throwing a coin and a die. Then we get the sample space. So first we write the sample space. Sample space S is equal to, that H is equal to that H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Okay. Now here students, that we logically we say that there are the coin, there is a coin, so there are the two possibilities, head and tail, so HT, and a die, so there are the 6 possibilities, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so take this H one by one with respect to the number of dice. Okay, and then here the T take the one by one by the taken of the die. Okay, so this way H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and then here students, here T1, that T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, and last one T6. Okay, student, this way. Okay, and then next one, that is the N of S, students. N of S, that is a 12. Okay, N of S is equal to 12. Now here come to the event, that event A is equal to, that is event A for to get a head and a prime number. To get a head and a prime number. So now here in the set of A, we write head and prime number. So head, that means this, between this. So here 1 is not prime, so no. So here 2. So H2, then H3, and then students H5. Okay, this way. Then here students, N of A is equal to 3. Now here probability, that is P of A is equal to N of A upon N of S. Here students. Okay, so that means here students, P of A is equal to 3 of, this is N of A, 3 of 12. So here 3 ones are, 3 fours are. So the probability of the event A is 1 upon 4, students. Okay. Then here the second one, students, that second one, student, that is event B. Event B is for to get a tail. To get a tail and an odd number. And an odd number. Okay, students? Then here set of B, that will be 10 and odd number. So 10 and odd number that is T1, then T3, and then T5. We write this way. And then N of B is equal to 3, number of these 3. So now probability, calculator probability, now here the event is B. So P of B is equal to N of B upon N of S. The formula becomes this way. Okay, students? So now here, students, that P of B is equal to 3 of 12 and that is equal to 1 by 4 also. Okay, so such a way both the answers are equal, students. That is P of A and P of B is equal to 1 upon 4. Okay, students? This way we write. So here final answer we can write P of A is equal to 1 of 4 and the P of B is equal to 1 of 4. Okay, such a way we can write the answer.